Welcome to LNP Renewable System Integrator. Today we are going to discuss some of the basics of IoT's Internet of Things. Okay, this session we had classified into 6 parts. Okay, part 1 let us discuss today. So what are the things that we are going to discuss today in the part 1? What is IoT? Okay, and how a IoT ecosystem looks like, okay, and what is the OSI model, how it looks like, okay, and what is the standard architecture of a IoT, okay, and what is the functions of the connectivity layer, and what are the functions of the edge computing layer, and what are the functions of the data accumulation layer, and what are the functions of the data abstraction layer. And also we are going to discuss about the functions of the application layers also, okay, and what is the most important function of the collaboration and the process layer, and what are the 3 important layers of the IoT, and what are the basic building blocks of the IoT. Okay, so first if you go into the IoT ecosystem, okay, so it enables the technology, it enables a marketplace, and it enables IoT application which is disabled to the users and the stakeholders. Okay, and the important advantage of this Internet of Things is that any device we can connect, okay, anything we can connect with the network, okay, anyone can access the data, okay, at any time, at any context, anywhere in the world, through any path, okay, and whatever service we need, any sort of service we can do using the help of this IoTs. Okay, it has very vast application, okay, in the world, in the if you go for smart homes, okay, smart buildings, airports, okay, metro stations, bus services, okay, so like that its application is very much pretty larger. Okay, even in the industries we can use this Internet of Things. Okay, so in order to describe the what is the Internet of Things, it describes a physical object with the sensors, okay, processing ability, software, and the other technologies that connect and exchange the data with other devices and the system over the internet or through the communication networks. So with the help of this Internet of Things, okay, so it is a very cost effective one. Okay, through the sensor network we can establish the IoTs, and with the embedded system also we can do the IoT, okay, and we can do the data signal and processing with the help of the IoTs. We can do cloud computing, we can do network technology, we can develop data management, we can use we had a very big application in the nano electronics, okay, even for the power and the energy storage we can go for IoTs, okay, even for the home automation, building automation, we can use these Internet of Things. So basically if you look into the architecture, okay, it has 4 important layers. The base layer is the smart devices or the sensor layer. So in the sensor layer, okay, all the devices will come, okay, the device which are having a capability to establish the analog signal, digital signal, RFID, electromechanical signal, photoelectronic, GPS, solid state devices, infrared sensors, gyroscopes, electrochemical devices, okay, and which can communicate with the smart networks like Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Ethernet, Bluetooth, okay, even wired network we can establish in the sensor layer. Okay, and if you go into the network or the communication layer, so we can classify as a gateway and a gateway network. If you're going for a gateway, we have a embedded and signal processor, OS, SIM modules, and the microcontrollers. If you're going for a gateway network, Wi-Fi, GPS, GSM, okay, Ethernet, LTE, so many networks we can use in the communication layer. Okay, next category is that the service support and application support layer. Here is where the difference is happening. Okay, till these 2 layers, the major category will be the 2, okay, 4, but when you're going for this application layer, here comes the real design. Okay, here we can go for virtual entities, we can go for IoT business process management, we can do the business process modeling, we can do the business process execution, okay, we can do the data governance, we can do the data management, okay, we can do the access control, we can do the security, we can do the encryption, we can do the data mining, we can do the statistical analysis, okay, like this, so many things we can do. And then the final part is the application layer. So whatever the IoT application if you want to establish, that there comes the application. So the application can be a smart home, can be a smart building, can be a smart industry, can be a smart healthcare, okay, can be a smart transport, can be a smart energy, can be a smart cities, and can be a smart living. Okay, so these Internet of Things ecosystem which has a broad network of connected and interdependent devices and technologies that are applied by the specialists towards a specific goal, such as creation of a smart city. Okay, so all these data devices which collects the data and send it across the network to a platform that aggregates the data for the future use by the agent. Okay, so this IoT ecosystem consists of four important persons. One is the devices, next the connecting networks, the platform, and the agent. Okay, if you're going for the OSI model, okay, if we make a comparison with the TCP model and the OSI model, in the TCP model we have only 4 layers, whereas in case of OSI model we have 7 layers: physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, application models. So this regarding the IoT, okay, standardized architecture, the World Forum has provided a detailed sketch of these 7 layers. First is the physical devices and the controllers, that is the things in the IoT. Next is the connectivity, that is the communication in the processing unit. And the third layer is the edge computing. It can be data element analysis and the transformations. And the fourth most important thing is the data accumulation, where the storage of information is happening. And the fifth most important layer is the data abstraction layer, where aggregation and the access things are happening. And the sixth most important layer is the application layer, where we can able to see the reports, we can make the analysis, we can make the control. Okay, and the seventh most important thing is that collaboration in the process. This is where the place we are making the people to get involved, and we are doing the business processes in the 7th layer. Okay, and if we saw in detail about the second layer, that is the connectivity, that is communication in the processing unit layer. Okay, we have, this is the communication, it established the communication between the layer 1 devices. Okay, and the second thing is that in order to make the switching and the routing process, we need this connectivity layer. Okay, and also for the translation between the different protocols, we need this communication processing layer. Okay, and for the network level security, we need this communication layer. Next, third most important layer is the edge, that is computing. Okay, so the main function of this third layer is that it evaluates and reformate the data for processing at higher levels. Okay, it filters the data to reduce the traffic at the higher level processing. Okay, and in that, if you saw this edge fog computing layer, we can have a smart devices at the base level. Okay, at fast rate in order to respond in the milliseconds. Okay, with the fog layer, we need a core IPv6 network, and at last, in order to store do the computing at a very fast rate, we need a cloud. Okay, data center or cloud. And all the other layers, let us see. So the layer 4 is nothing but the data accumulation layer. So it captures the data and stores it, so it can be used by the application whenever necessary. And the fifth most important layer is the data abstraction layer. So the important function of this abstraction layer is that it reconciles the multiple data format and ensure the consistent semantics from the various sources. And the sixth most important layer is the application layer. So it interprets the data using the software applications. It will monitor, it will control, and it will provide the reports based on the analysis of the data. And the seventh most important layer is that the collaboration and the process layer. So this is the most important layer which makes the IoT useful to everyone, because it consumes and shares the application informations. Okay, it collaborates on and communicating with the IoT information often. Okay, which requires multiple steps. So this makes the IoT very most useful application in the world. Okay. Next step, if you are going for 3 major layers of this IoT: perception layer, network layer, and application layer. What is this perception layer? This perception layer is the where sensors, we are using the sensor for sensing and gathering the information around the environment. It senses some sort of physical parameters, okay, with the help of the smart objects in the environment. And the second most important layer is the network layer, which is the most important layer responsible for connecting to other smart things, network devices, and the sensors. Okay, it also plays important role in transmitting and processing the sensor data. And the last most important layer is the application layer. It is the one which is responsible for delivering the application specific services to the users. Okay, so for example, smart homes, smart cities, and smart health, everything comes under this application layer. And so since it has vast layers, in order to simplify them into a block diagram, this is a block diagram. It has a sensor at the base, Okay, and we have a processor. So both are bidirectional, both establish a bidirectional communication. And the next most important thing is the gateway. Okay, so the processors and the gateway has a bidirectional communication, and the final most important thing is the application. It also communicates with the other rest of the things with the help of these gateways. So this is the important and the simplified block diagram of this IoTs. So if you come into the category of sensors, these are the devices that senses the things. It can be temperature, pressure, motion, control, particles, anything. Okay, and the actuator is nothing but output devices. Okay, so if you want you sense something and you want to do some action, then if you want to make any sort of action, or if you want to do some performance, if you want to make some output, then you need some sort of physical devices. Like even if you want to do switchings, if you want to do running of motors, you need some sort of switches. So that is these actuators. Okay, these are the devices that act on the things. Okay, and when we talk about the IoT ecosystem, okay, the most important person who plays important role is the gateways, because this is a piece of hardware, okay, which is capable of translating and facilitating the essential connections between the devices. Okay, and if you get depth into the IoT platform, okay, once you develop any sort of IoT, okay, it should be capable of doing anything. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and press the bell icon. If you want to know more and learn more, you can contact us. We had provided the contact details here. We are providing design, installation, testing and commissioning services for home automation, building automation, industrial automation, and we are also providing design, installation, testing and commissioning consultancy services for solar on-grid, even off-grid applications also we are providing. Okay, and for the colleges, if you need any trainings related to Internet of Things, okay, if you are from EC department or EEE department, okay, and you want to know about the industrial automation, that is basically the PLC programming, okay, we are providing the PLC programming training with the trainer kits of Allen Broadley, Siemens and Delta. You can contact us. Okay, the section is not yet over, so we have other 5 more parts in this session. Okay, we are providing the links below. So once you are pretty clear about this part 1, then you can move on to the other sessions. And thank you so much.